Something of an obsessive walker, and have even, to a large extent, rearranged my life in order to spend as much time as possible hiking across this green and pleasant whatnot. It's strange now to think that as recently as 4 years ago, if you'd suggested to me that I'd soon be spending every moment I can manage traipsing mile after mile in all weathers, usually on my own, I'd assume you'd taken leave of your senses. Then I'd probably tell you to stick a cork in it as I'm trying to watch the telly. Indeed, it took a somewhat desperate period of insomnia, induced by stress and a dashed unhealthy lifestyle, to finally unleash the dormant rambler within. What started out as a self-prescribed alternative to sleeping pills quickly morphed into an all-consuming passion. During these glorious early explorations came a further revelation, whilst embarking upon my first multi-day hike, a 4-day stint along the picturesque Cotswold Way. I was pondering life's important questions, as one is apt to do in such scenarios. I'd reached an impasse in terms of lifestyle, career, the whole bally thing, to be honest with you. So what on earth was I going to do with my life? What positive changes could I make to ensure that the insomnia and stress were kept at bay? What did I actually want? Then it hit me. This is what I want. To walk, to wander, to follow the trail. So there you have it, mon grand champignon. Since then, I've walked some of the best trails in the country, written a couple of books about it, and impoverished myself by reducing my employment hours in order to give as much of my life as possible over to the noble pursuit of rambling. I've gotten lost on moors, panted my way up mountains, ambled along thousands of miles of coastline, and even, on occasion, slept in a tent. And I've loved every minute of it. Well, except for the tent. Actually, that's something else we should probably clear up from the off. Best to lay one's cards on the table from the get-go. I hate camping. There, I said it. I know from experience that this will enrage some amongst you. Others still will be deleting me from their Kindle devices at this very moment. So be it. I have made my peace with it. Besides, it isn't as though I haven't had a jolly good stab at the thing over the last few years. Regular readers will testify that S. Reynolds and the canvas are incompatible in the extreme. I may hate camping, but this is naught in comparison to how camping feels about me. A merciless and savage nighttime insect attack, I bear the scars to this very day, on the shores of Loch Lomond whilst hiking the West Highland Way, represented the final battle in the Reynolds versus Tent War. The tent won. I will, of course, face the music when absolutely required. Which is to say, I won't let my aversion to camping govern what hikes I embark upon. But wherever possible, I will end each glorious day in the trail with a bubble bath and a fluffy duvet. Plus, ideally a snifter or two at the bar. The Nomad en suite. Now, where was I? Oh yes. As you know, once S. Reynolds has set his mind to something, there's no turning back. Since completing the Southwest Coast Path 2 years ago, my heart has been at the mercy of the sea's beck and call. Nothing on earth stirs the old soul quite like the prospect of day after day following the trail whilst gazing out across the hypnotic ocean waves. For this reason, I've long coveted the Pembrokeshire coastline with its dramatic clifftops and sprawling beaches, its rich wildlife and picturesque villages. The history of this ancient landscape is varied and brutal, and whets the appetite almost as much as the path itself. Experiencing the merest whiff of what's on offer while spending a relaxing week in St. David's with a significant other has sealed the deal. 26th of March 2018. The Preamble. As I stride excitedly down the road towards Bristol Temple Meads train station, through the smog and resignation of the early morning commuter traffic, a thought suddenly occurs. Blimey. This pack really isn't very heavy. The explanation for this pleasing revelation lies in the bold and, some might say, brave decision taken by your unladen narrator some 3 days prior. The aforementioned and